Welcome to Clearcoat Confessions, where the dirt gets hunted down and the shine hits like a knockout. From beat-up daily drivers to weekend showstoppers, we're breaking down the art of clean, one panel at a time. Detailing tips, insider tricks, and the kind of passion that doesn't wash off. So pull up, tune in, and let's make that ride look dangerous again.
All opinions expressed on Clearcoat Confessions are those of the hosts and do not reflect the views of any affiliates or sponsors.
Welcome, everybody, to Clearcoat Confessions, a detailer's podcast, episode 4. How's everybody doing tonight? We are ready to get rolling here. We have got some pretty good subjects that we're going to be talking about. We've got a few videos that we're going to play halfway through, just some quick videos, things that we enjoyed to see. I'm sure everybody here that's done some coatings will enjoy them as well.
Coatings, sealants,
with that,
waxes.
Yeah. So we've got Adamo. We've got Super Dave here. Adamo, what do we got going on? What are we doing tonight with the three of us?
Well, I mean, we did a little bit of a poll in the group and just kind of seeing what we wanted to talk about this evening. So we're going to bring up a couple of topics. I think the first one we're going to talk about is speed versus quality. And
Greg, let me know when Adamo's finished because I can't hear.
Oh, you can't hear me?
Yeah, go ahead. Keep going, Adamo.
And then we'll take a little bit of a break, and then we'll pop back in with the kind of the second half of our podcast. So I'll give it over to Dave.
All right, Dave, and you're going to be helping moderate and the questions tonight, right?
That's correct. We're going to be talking a little bit about the speed versus quality, and hopefully I can direct traffic enough until the cavalry comes back here with Franco.
All right. And who do we have here tonight? You want to go ahead and start letting everybody in there?
You betcha.
Adamo? So we have got Don from Detail Obsessed Nation.
Hello.
Fernando.
Hello, guys.
Vice out in Virginia. Chingy. How's everybody doing tonight?
Great.
Good vibes.
So so good.
Good. And do you guys could you guys hear everything that going on in the background while we were talking? While you're in the back room?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
All right. Good.
You guys heard everything? Everything
good.
was good? Dave,
Yes.
can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Perfect.
All right. So let's go
I'm
ahead.
going to log out. I can't hear but Adamo.
All right. Sounds good. As Jamie would say, StreamYard.
Yes. Love it and hate it.
Yeah, love it and hate it. And I think I've got
We'll
to.
see.
Yeah. Okay. There we go.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
So
thank you.
well, I'm gonna turn it over to Adamo to kick off. Oh, the one thing I wanted to mention.
Yes.
Do you know what? It's April. It's car detailing month, right? Did you guys know that?
Except
Keep your car
where?
clean. Canada. It's freeze your
It's
butt off
snowing
and
right now.
watch the snow coming. Yeah.
Snowing right now.
And you know what? Before we do that, before we send it, Dave's coming back in. Before we send it over to you, I have a surprise for everybody. Just a quick surprise subject. Okay. So Chingy, we're about ready to get started. Thanks. Yeah. And we can see you now too. Can you hear everybody, Chingy?
I can hear. Yes, sir.
All right. I've got a surprise subject. And we've got this is going to be a quick speed round. And I'm going to throw it over to Fernando, who'll explain why we're doing this tonight. And then he'll ask the question. And remember, it's just one.
All right.
I was not aware about this. This
Nope.
is a surprise for me.
Nope. It's a surprise. I mean, I think me and Greg are the only ones that know. And based off, well, today is the very important day one of the NFL draft, right? And so
Yes, it is.
I was driving home and I'm like, Well, if you had to pick one product, if you had to pick one product, one thing, what would be in your arsenal of
Just one.
detailing? Just one.
Just one.
And
don't need any more than that.
No right or wrong answers. And I'll kick it off, right? So, because I've had time to think about it. So, but then that will give you a little bit of time to think about it. But mine
I'll
was
go last.
Nemesis, and the versatility of Nemesis or any rinseless wash, right? Mostly a hybrid rinseless would be my pick. But not only does it do good for rinseless, it's a great lube for claying. It can dilute it 64:1. Now you got a quick detailer, dilute it 128:1. You got a waterless wash. You can clean the wheels. You can, Nemesis V1, you could foam, right? But
yeah,
I mean, you can try to foam them. It's a great pre-wash also. So it's the Christian McCaffrey of the NFL, right? It's versatile. It can come out of the backfield, go out for a pass, run, take the rock, the hold to the game. It just does everything. And you never know. It could throw a surprise, a long bomb somewhere in there, and like a pass or go for a return. It does so much that I'm like, this would be my MVP for my team if I was my number one pick.
All right.
So
Ice.
Well, I'm glad you picked me because I did pick an answer already. If I would have to pick one versatile product, it would have to be Labo Cosmetica Primus.
Doesn't sound the same.
Oh, let me try to Italian accent. Labo Cosmetica.
Labo Cosmetica.
You know what? I am gonna have Sock record something for me.
We need to make that a soundbite.
We need that as a soundbite.
Yep.
But yeah, Labo Cosmetica Primus. You can use it in the bucket as a soap. You can use it as a pre-wash. You can use it to clean wheels. I feel like that's one of the most versatile products on the market.
All right. Chingy. Chingy might be having some audio
Technical
issues.
difficulties.
Yeah. Dave.
Chingy, are you there?
So probably the most versatile product I'd have to agree. It's going to be a rinseless, So right now my favorite rinseless is going to be Yum rinseless, being surfactant heavy and good cleaner. Could be used in the interior, exterior, and it could be foamed on. You can lather your body with it. It's all good. So yeah, that's my product.
And it doesn't have to be versatile, right? It can be anything you want. What would be your product that you're picking? Anything.
My answer stays the same. It's goated.
There you go. Don.
Man, this is a really tough question because I like so many different aspects of it. I think I'm going to be a little bit different, and for me, the MVP is the last step of the detail for me, and that's the tire shine. At least in my SOP, that's the tire shine. Kind of just sets it off, and that lets me know that I've finished everything else and I'm moving on to that last step. Get her shined up, however shiny you like it, matte, satin, super shiny, guardian, whatever you like. That's my answer.
Which one?
Damo. Oh,
This
okay.
one is
Tire
so
shine. Yeah,
tough.
thank you. Yeah,
So
which
tough.
one? Oh, hold on, Damo. Hold on, Don.
Yep.
Which one?
So I have to pick one.
One. No, one.
Oof.
One.
Okay. I'm gonna go Guardian. I've really liked Guardian a lot here recently.
I was waiting for the Fenrir pick.
I
No,
like that. I like that.
Fenrir is fine. There's a lot of great ones out there. But if we're being narrowed down to just one, I'm picking Guardian.
Yeah.
Tomorrow
You only
might
get,
be different. Today, Guardian.
yeah, this is the first round, and you only get one pick in the first round. So let's just
That's
remember that. So
Can I trade for a second pick?
no
I
trading.
was going to
No.
say, as soon as Greg was going to come to me, I'm like, I trade my pick because
Yeah,
there's
Adamo,
no
pick
way
it.
I can pick one.
Pick
Uh,
it.
So we have
some of you guys have
Nemesis,
seen-
we have Guardian. Come on, let's build a team here. Who's next?
You guys have
Yum
seen my
Labo
Rinseless,
garage.
Cosmetica
Labo
Primus.
Cosmetica.
And we have Yum Rinseless.
Yeah.
And with Don's
Okay.
pick, also the versatility, right? Because you can do your interior
Mhm.
engine and the tires and all the trim. That's a
Yeah.
very good, solid pick too.
Swiss Army knife.
Yep.
Jeez.
All right, hey guys, you're giving Adamo more time to think, and his time
Yeah,
is
thank you. I appreciate it.
expired. He's got to pick. Let's move it.
So, I mean, am I supposed to pick my favorite, or am I supposed to pick something that'll work?
Yeah,
with the
I was
theme?
confused on that. I'm with the Dom.
Your
I thought we were
favorite.
just picking our favorite.
Whatever you want.
Sounds like we were
Exactly.
picking a team for a
You can
second.
answer it however you
Yeah.
want.
Mm-mm.
No wrong answer.
Well,
Oh, there's always a
yeah,
wrong
there are
answer.
a lot of wrong
Well,
answers.
if you
'cause
say
I-
if you say LA Awesome, that's the wrong answer.
Okay, Adamo.
you guys have
Damo.
seen my garage. I can't pick
somebody's
just one
offended.
Adamo.
item. If I can't pick Rinseless or Primus,
You can pick anything you want. Anything you want.
Yeah,
Anything you want.
yeah. Nothing's
can't
getting
pick one.
canceled
You
out.
can repeat.
You can double down on someone's. Yeah.
Just know that I picked it first.
Mhm.
I mean, a team has 2 wide receivers.
Yeah. I would. You know what?
Only one.
Oh
quarterback.
man, I would probably pick a citrus, something like Yum Citrus.
Okay, Yum
That's a
Citrus.
good pick. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a solid
Yeah.
pick.
Yum Citrus, highly dilutable. I can use it. I mean, I haven't personally used it on the interior, but I know some people have. But you can dilute it up, down, use it straight it as if as needed. I would have to pick a citrus. Nemesis would have been my number one, but citrus would be my one.
Okay. Chingy.
I missed out on all that. Give me the question again. Sorry.
Let me ask you a question first, Chingy. Why do you have so much detailer behind you? You look like you're Thor in the background.
It goes quick, sir.
Yeah. Fernando, go
You're
ahead
not
and
supposed
ask
to
the question.
bathe in it.
Yeah, Fernando, ask Chingy the question again.
So the NFL draft is going on, right? And what would be your number one pick for your detailing product?
One
What would be
pick.
your MVP?
MVP. I've been on an APC kick lately.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm going to go
Nice.
with an APC. And I'm going to switch it up only because I've gotten a lot more, or I have a lot more experience with it, but I'm going to go with Superior Pin Perfection.
Wow. I was
That's
not expecting that.
For all the homies. For all
You
the
ever
homies.
regret asking a question like for the answer?
Pink perfect.
No regrets. Hey, so I guess it's my turn, right?
Yes, it is.
All right.
Greg,
so,
what would you pick?
So my pick is still a sophomore. So my pick is what Eddie installed on that Charger last night, that red Charger.
Oh,
That coating that they're testing.
Mm-hmm.
That's
you know,
cheating.
That
Yeah, you cannot do that. That
You
doesn't
you have to
happen.
pick a product that is currently available.
You've
for
never
all of
even
us
had
to
it in your
use.
possession.
It can't
What's
even
the-
be purchased.
What's the
That we
name?
know of.
Maybe.
What's the name?
Yeah, you
Give
do
us
have to
that
drop
look
a
again.
name.
unreleased coating.
Hashtag quiver these nuts.
Yeah,
Put 'em on the spot.
unreleased coating.
I think
I don't have it. I don't have it in my possession, but I was very yes. As Corey says, I was scouting a college player, and
I heard it was
I'm
called
very
Slick
impressed.
Vincent.
And I have that scouting player all signed up if it comes through and it is a product. So yeah, that would be mine.
Yeah, we
That's
had
a
that
cop
little
out
bit of a
answer.
discussion.
Can I get your runner up?
Yeah, my runner-up is going to be the Yum Citrus.
Okay.
Very versatile. I love that product,
Yeah.
and the smell is insane. All right, so let's. That was a fun little exercise.
Franco.
That
You
was-
didn't get Franco's.
oh,
didn't get
Franco!
Franco.
Dang it, Franco!
Dang,
Come
man.
on,
I'm gonna cheat
My
on
bad.
this one. No, I see how it is, but I'm gonna cheat on this one because it's not necessarily a detailing product, but a detailing tool as far as I'm considered, and that's my speaker of choice, the UE Boom. Like that's my detailing in my arsenal. Like no matter what I'm using, no matter what, I gotta have some tunes blaring, and I'm not a big headphone or earbud guy while I'm detailing. I like to be more aware of my surroundings, but my MVP pick of detailing tools, or products, my tunes. I gotta have my tunes.
yeah,
Yeah.
Be
Good.
right.
Dan
Brandon
said that
said,
grilled citrus is better than Yum.
Who said that?
Who did?
Dan's Diamond Detailing.
All right, kick him out.
Well,
No, I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna have to put him on a timeout for a bit.
so Vic is asking. What? No, hold on a second. What dilution do y'all use for citrus? 1 to 5s usually.
1 to
That's
5
my-
is the
what I-
safest one, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I use 4 to 1, 9 to 1.
If you're
There we
feeling if you're feeling ballsy, like 1 to 1.
I've used it straight.
Yeah,
I've
there's some
used it
people that use it straight.
But straight, I tend to see if you're outside, there's a higher likelihood of staining somewhere.
Yeah. I actually asked Nick that because we always
I've
see
never
him
had an issue.
squirting the Yum Citrus 500 ml bottle, and I said, "Are those straight, or are you diluting them?" And he said, "No, they're diluted." That he's using. So, all right, so let's just kick it off over to Adamo and Dave, or what are we talking, Dave? What are we talking about tonight?
Yeah.
Today
What's our
we're
first-
talking about quality versus speed, and obviously detailing, not the bedroom. So get your minds out of the gutter. So let's start off with, how about Franco, since you didn't get a chance to talk too much, let's start off with you. What do you think is more important? You think quality of the detail or speed of the detail? I kind of already know your answer, but go for it.
Quality, 100%.
Yeah.
Even if I was doing professional detailing full time, kind of like we'll use Carlos Serrano as a example here. He only does 1 to 2 details a day, and he says that proudly. He's not running after 8 or 10 details a day. So yeah, I think I would be more of that speed personally. Who knows, but when I have 1 to 2 details a day, I can pick and choose, and I'm not really worried about the time unless it's a weather thing. But yeah, I would concentrate mostly on quality. And the better you get, the time comes with that. The more you do it, the more your SOP, your standard operating, blah blah blah, all that. Like your quality comes with, your speed comes with practice. Yeah, so yeah, that's my take on it.
All righty. Sounds good. So let's go over to, how about Fernando? You're awfully quiet there in the corner.
I think I'm with Franco on that one. Quality, right? And then again, I only have a couple of cars that I do, my personal cars and a couple of friends' cars and family cars, right? But it's for me, it's relaxing. It's just out there being one with the car and the products, and just taking your time to do it right. When I've rushed, and I mean, by all, and my wife says I never rush, right? Even when I'm in a rush, I'm still on turtle pace. But it just, I want to make sure that I get it right, that I get every detail that I'm looking for to shine. And maybe it takes, going through all the cracks and crevices inside the interior to get every little piece of crumb that's on there. And so I prefer that quality because it just makes it look that much nicer, I think.
Yeah, that's what I tell my wife every night. All right. Let's go over to Vice. So I think I'm gonna see a pattern forming here, but let's talk. Let's see what you got to say about
I
quality
was about to
versus speed.
say, everyone's saying quality, so I kind of want to say speed now.
But
Well, it's an interesting perspective coming from you because you're doing this, as your this is your main income, is it?
No, I'm gonna say it's more of a side hustle.
Side hustle. All right. Fair enough. You're still doing it for money, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
So
look at it this way. I mean, I've done some disaster details that have taken me like 10 hours, and I wish I was faster, but at the same time, you need to put out a quality product because that's what your brand is, at least in a professional sense. I could detail a car in like an hour, but then they're gonna tell their friend, "Oh, I got it done by Vice," and then they're gonna be like, "Oh, it kind of looks like shit," you know.
yeah, yeah.
So I would choose quality, but I'm gonna say speed just to be different.
All right. I'll appreciate that. So we'll go over to Damo, another gentleman who does this for his living, and let's see what his version of what he would do with quality versus
Mhm.
speed.
before I give you my answer, we got a question here. That's a good one.
Okay.
Um, by Christy. How long do you think a standard exterior and interior full detail should take? Medium soiling, not just a maintenance, but not hammered or hashed out vehicle.
Hmm. That's an interesting question.
Mm-hmm.
3 to 4 hours.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it takes what it takes, depending on. I mean, if you have a certain amount of time that you're doing a vehicle, sometimes it takes what it takes. That's a tough one. I'd have
Yeah,
to.
but I do have to push back a little. You're
Mhm.
absolutely right. I think quality, because that's your name on the line if you're doing it for someone else besides
Absolutely.
yourself. When it comes to your own car, that's fine. You can take all day if you want. You can take 2 days to do a simple detail. But at the same time, when you're running a business and obviously it can't be taking 6 hours to do a simple interior exterior
Of
detail.
course, of course.
So you do have to put some sort of time frame on it. So for a medium or a heavy soiled, I would say 3 to 4 hours is a fair
Hmm.
number to put on. Now if it's a disaster detail, that's when you got to charge accordingly for
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah. 3 to 4 hours depends on if it's a small car, sedan, truck,
Right, right. Yeah,
SUV.
variables.
Times, yeah, the times change a little bit, right? So if
Right.
it's snowing outside or it's not,
If it's snowing, I'm not detailing.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Canada you don't got that luxury
I don't
either.
have
It's
that
always
luxury.
snowing.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
snowing in the
sometimes,
summer.
yeah.
Yeah. So back to the speed versus quality. What do you think, Adamo, personally? Like, whether it be in business or personal, how do you look at it?
For me, number one is quality, and with time, as you're doing things, set to that same standard all the time. You put out quality and you get faster with it. So speed comes with time, with repetitiveness. But if the quality never goes down, for me, I think quality is number one, and as you do it, speed goes up, in my opinion, anyways. So.
Hmm. Yeah, that's good. All right. We got Don. He's being a little bit quiet next to you, so let's get him chapping a bit about it. What do you think? Speed versus quality?
Yeah, I mean, it's always going to be quality. Um, one of the reasons that I even started to do detailing for outside of my own was the reaction of the customer when they pick their vehicle up. And to me, not that that can't come with speed, but typically it's going to come with quality. And to kind of double back onto the question that Christy asked, so I'm never in a hurry on a detail. On an interior exterior, I'm going to probably spend 4 to 6 hours just because I'm in there. I'm kind of double checking on things. Every time I
You're
walk by, I see
meticulous.
something else.
Mm-hmm.
I see something else that I'm like, I can't let this roll out of here that way. So that's just my take. I don't, like I said, I think everybody has their own, and there's no right or wrong answer. That's just personally, that's what I would do, or that's how I could kind of go about the process.
At some point, you have to. I mean, there is also, you're getting paid. Well, in my situation, you get paid a certain amount, and where do you stop the customer paying you, and now you're starting to pay the customer, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is why I really like this question and I picked it,
Mhm.
because at a certain point, if you're running a business, you cannot exceed your 3 to 4 hour for
Exactly.
this example. Because if you
Yep.
do,
Yeah.
you're losing money.
Then you're
So
losing
you
Yeah.
do
money.
have to
And
find the balance between speed and quality.
Absolutely.
right.
You guys
Yeah,
are
Absolutely.
stealing all my
Absolutely.
thunder.
I'm sorry. Did everybody get to say their piece on that question?
Yeah.
No.
No, we still
Chingy
got
No,
Chingy, Greg.
Chingy,
You guys already just
Chingy,
did.
and
Greg.
Greg.
I'm
You guys
ready. I'm
forgot to
ready to
mention,
hear theirs.
is this free? Are we doing the quality for free? So, I mean, some of the work I do is for charity, right? I got friends that I'll hook
Mm-hmm.
up, but if it's a paying customer, of course, the work that I give them is going to be quality, but I'm also not going to be giving a lot of the work for free. And so, depending on, I just had one a couple of weeks ago where I was fighting the sun and I really did not want to break out the extractor. It wasn't in the budget. And I spent 2.5 hours on the interior. And at
I
some,
remember we talked about this.
yeah, and at some point, I was battling that internal, devil and angel on my shoulder of
Mm-hmm.
I would never let my vehicle walk out like that. But this customer who is compensating me didn't pay for the level of detail that I would give if I was just giving away my time. So one, I think you got to know what your budget is, what your time frame is, and then picking the best type of wash. Whether this is totally going to be a rinseless wash because I've got an hour and a half to flip this, right? So you're searching for the different avenues that are going to put you in the best place for high quality.
Yeah.
But speed is a big one, especially the summertime details where it's 115 in Northern California, and I don't have time to sit there and play around and go looking for extra things to do. That's where I think when Franco mentioned SOPs, making sure that you've got multiple SOPs for the scenario that you're finding yourself in.
Yeah, there's so many different variables that you have to take into account on, like you said, if it's a charity, is it a paid gig? Is it your own? Is it family? There's so heat, weather. There's so many different variables
Yeah,
that
I
time
spent
goes up and
too
down.
much time on the interior and didn't leave myself enough time for the exterior.
Mm.
And I still left that customer with a beautiful detail, and they were very happy. But um,
Were you happy?
um, I would have used the extractor, right? But that wasn't in the budget.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I talked to Eddie about this, and even Conway last week with Christie's podcast. That where do your personal standards stop versus the standard of the budget you were just paid for, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's where I still have that inner struggle. But I think based on what others have told me and the advice I've gotten is you've got to stay within the budget and you got to give them the best quality that you can based on the budget that they've provided
That
you.
they have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Absolutely.
I think speed is always important. I think we can't lose sight of the fact that you got to be fast at what you're doing, and the repetition, as you mentioned, is just. You should have a lot of details under your belt before you start charging. You
Yeah.
should have your SOPs dialed. You should really have your program done. And even a DIYer, life happens, and you start this massive detail, and maybe the spouse isn't too happy about that. So
Yeah.
you're willing to keep going and screw the family and ruin the whole day for everybody, or do you find a
Yeah.
way to speed it up a little bit? I think they go hand in hand. Is basically a long-winded.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right.
Greg?
So, Greg.
Yeah. So this week, Friday's a good example. Saturday morning's going to be a good example. So most of the time, I'm going for quality. I don't have a business. I tried to start a business last year when I got back from Pocatello, but didn't work out too well. I ended up with one customer and did a good job, but there things didn't work out for me to go down that route. So for the most part, I'm going for quality. I'm taking my time. So this May, June, and July, I have 5 or 6 different cars I'm going to be putting a coating on, family cars, and a couple of my son's friends that want to have some on. They want to see how to do this stuff. So I'm going to take my time with those. That'll take me probably 2 days to do them. Number one, because I have the time. Number two, because I don't like to rush. And number three, because of the obvious. If I go too fast, I'm going to just wear myself out. But so this Friday, as I was saying, I'm going to be doing a thorough wash and taking my time and getting the Mustang looking really good, because I'm heading to the local Cars and Coffee on Saturday morning.
Nice.
But on Saturday morning, when I get up, and just before I leave, I'll do a really quick rinseless wash on the car just to get everything off if anything's on there. And
Do you
then
do anything to gloss it up besides the rinseless wash, or you just lay it on the whatever you did the night before or the day before, I should say, and just do the rinseless wash just to get the dust off?
that's a great question. Yeah, I do. And Chingy knows exactly what I do. Look over his left shoulder. You'll see what I do. That's going to be a rinseless wash. And then my drying aid is going to be the detailer.
Or
Okay.
you could, as we saw in one of the lives, mix the two.
Mm-hmm.
I could,
save a
but
step.
I won't.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
No.
I'm in that camp, Greg. Don't worry about
But I
it.
won't.
Yeah.
There's
You
something
don't have to join these fads and stuff like that. Be your own
there's
man.
something very soothing about after a rinseless wash and taking that detailer and just shining it right up. So
Yep.
Yeah.
I hear you there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's me. That's my speed. That's my quality. Done.
You could be like Jeff, like you could be a YouTuber that details on the side. You get your friend's car for 2 days, you make some content, call it a day, and you could be the fake detailer.
Always cleaning clean
Hey,
cars.
that's a good
So-
idea. I'm going to make a note of that one. I'll try
There you
that.
go.
Yeah, you might
There
need
you
to make a
go.
T-shirt of that.
Yeah,
So
I don't know.
everybody's-
Some other guy did it a while back, but I don't know. He doesn't really do much anymore.
So
So
everybody's
Franco, you were gonna say something afterwards?
Yeah. I want to make a case for the people that didn't answer. Well, we're all quality across the board, quality over speed, and I want to dive into a little bit of that. For somebody to say they want to or they prefer speed over quality, let's just they're not here. I don't know if they're in the chat, but would you say that's a difference between a detailer's mindset versus a car wash mindset? Like who's answering speed over quality? You know what I mean? Or speed in favor of that we're not knocking out one or the other, but the preference over speed over quality. Would that
So,
be more of a car washer's deal?
well, yeah, you see a lot more of content and detailers doing touchless style applications. So, the pH clash of throwing acid on it and hitting it with the high pH for wheels and trying to get a touchless out of it, or the big one is MS, and dousing the puppy with MS and then blasting it with the pressure washer and then walking away without touching paint. right? Does that fit in line with someone who's doing that? Do we consider them just car washers, or is that
Personally, I would.
I
is
would.
yeah,
Are
you
they using buckets?
know?
No buckets will be harmed in this.
There's a whole nother hour discussion. Bucket or no bucket?
Yeah, yeah. But like just if you just stick with wheels, right? I think that historically you hear a lot of people talk on content, or even just in certain classes, that some of the pitch we're making to try and get a customer is why we're better than the tunnel wash, right? And some of the rationale is, well, they just throw all of these harsh chemicals on your vehicle, and I'm actually going to treat your vehicle with love and respect, right? And we're going to take good care of it. It's going to all be safe.
Yeah.
But
It's
yeah,
what sets you apart. You would
yeah,
hope.
but then are we still throwing those harsh chemicals on it and essentially doing a tunnel wash, right? Is that's sort of
We're
where I
even using the
wondered.
same chemicals tunnel washers use.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was gonna just say that, like it's no big secret, like this new fad with everyone coming out with a spray and rinse lately. That came directly from the tunnel wash game. You know what I mean?
one
So
before, baby.
yeah, so I mean, you got I'm not gonna name names, but there's people out there. I don't know if I would feel like I'm gypping my customer a bit if I did this myself, but going touchless, with no contact wash, and then doing a spray and rinse, and like you never actually touched the car, and you're actually charging people for a full detail on that. You know what I mean? I
You
personally
just
don't agree with
yes.
it personally, but I
Yeah,
mean,
no,
we're
no, no.
throwing harsh stuff on a customer's car when we go touchless like that, and then you throw on a spray and rinse, and you're charging as if you did like a wax or a sealant, or whatever, wash clay seal, which is like the most common ones that we're doing nowadays. But I don't know. I just feel like I would be gypping my customer if I was to charge them for a full detail like that.
How would you feel? Put yourself in the customer's
Uh, let's
shoes.
see. How about
Am,
Vice? You
am
got
I
any
am I
thing to
muted?
add?
Can y'all
Nope.
hear me?
Dave Franco's talking. I
Dave
don't think you can hear
Franco
Oh,
him.
was
I'm sorry.
asking.
I'm
Oh, he
sorry. I
must
couldn't
not
hear
be able
him.
to hear me. Oh, I'm sorry.
I still
Yeah,
can
can't
hear
hear
no,
you.
you. Go
no.
ahead.
There's no audio.
So
Just repeat it back to me.
okay, so how do you feel? How would you feel as a customer if you walk up on somebody, or somebody walks up on you and, hey, I'm going to do your car today. All right, you're doing the whole spiel, and you find out, or he says, or she says, I hate doing wheels. Like, I would feel like, you know what? Like, if you're just going to spray some shit on my wheels and rinse it off, maybe you're not the detailer for me. If you hate doing any part of this job and I'm about to give you money for it, I feel like you're going to jip me somehow. You're going to just, and the saying that, what is it? Gosh, the end result is what you're paying for. Well, no, I'm paying for the quality of the work and the end result. You can't charge me for a $30 wagyu steak and give me $2 chuck, and tell me, like, well, the end result is you're full. You ate that food. It was seasoned nice, and you ate it, and now you're full. Oh, you charging me for a premium service, but you're giving me, you're giving me bullshit. How do you feel like that? Somebody says, well, I just hate doing this, like, to make you feel like they're not going to do a good job on it. So maybe I'll go to the next detailer that does love doing wheels. I don't know.
Yeah, or that's true. Or give you a whole pizza and eat 7 of the 8 slices, right?
Yeah.
Jason comment.
Uh,
Jason has a comment that where he mentions better products help too, and I think there's a certain validity to that, because there are some products that are extremely effective that do get down to the clear a lot quicker than others, and that really helps speed things up. Kind of tying back into the previous topic of speed and quality, I think
Hmm.
you get that speed with better products ultimately, but then there's also some, I mean, a neutral soap's a neutral soap, right? But you know, walking that fine line of hitting it with a harsh degreaser, washing the whole vehicle with heavy duty. Like, I'm not going to do that. But there's some tricks to the trade where a better product, a stronger product, will actually get you some better results quicker.
There's
That's
And
a
something
Nemesis,
else.
Yep.
There's something else that I guess we haven't really talked about, or at least in my mind. And one of the things that I really enjoy is I just find it relaxing to go through the process, all of it, touching the car. Some parts can be touchless, but touching the car, touching the wheels, to me, that's the part that relaxes me when I'm not kind of out there doing it and going through my process. So
You get into that zone, and
I
yeah,
100% agree. I agree
absolutely. Like
100%.
nothing else, there's nothing else in my mind. Yeah, there's obviously not a lot in my mind in the first place, but uh, but
You beat me to
typically
it.
that's what kind of just gets me and I kind of lose track of time sometimes that way, just because I'm just enjoying myself and checking off, hey, I just finished that part, now I'm going to this part. So I mean, to me, it kind of all flows together. But like I said, it's just, to me, that's the relaxing part, is putting my hands on the vehicle and not trying to get away from putting my hands on the vehicle.
Yeah, it's really hard to gauge that for us, because I don't know. Does anyone here personally know a detailer that's trying to crank out as many as they can during the day? Do we actually? Personally, I don't. But do any of y'all like?
I do. I know people, not anyone in our community, but like California detailers, like especially like the ones that are going from dealership to dealership, and
Hmm.
they're trying to get business wherever they can, and like they get a dealership that has like a couple hundred cars, and they'll be like,
Yeah.
yeah, sure, I'll knock out each car, 35, $40 a car, quick outside wash, quick inside vacuum, and they'll
Hmm.
they'll just go nuts on just trying to get every single car done for the dealership and try to earn their business, so they get it all the time.
and
And that's just one example. There's a lot
yeah,
like
no,
that
our
of
out there.
course.
boy Stay Wet. That guy details a bunch of cars in a day.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
And
but
that's
I don't
after you're
think.
driving for 12 hours too.
Yeah, I don't
He
think he's
he like,
sacrificing quality though for that. I
no.
think he's just got a full book. That's all.
No, but that's a
Yeah,
perfect example of balancing the quality and speed.
And
Once you
speed.
get
right.
good enough, you can do 5 cars a day,
Easily.
including the driving time for mobile
Hmm.
detailers.
And that's also where if you got a team involved, like you got multiple people on your team. I mean, Frankie, I don't think has a team with him. I think he's doing it all on his own. But there are a lot of details out there that got like 2, 3, 4 people on a team, and they could tag team a car, and what a 4-hour job can be done in hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see, Greg. What do we got else on the board here?
Well, I think Adamo
Fernando.
was. No, we
Fernando?
already. Oh,
Did we go?
Fernando. Yeah, we haven't heard from Fernando yet.
Oh,
There we go.
Fernando. Yeah.
well, and what I wanted to touch on was something that Chingy said, right? That using better products builds speed, but even within pH neutral soaps, right? Like I had a soap that you had to rinse it 2 times because they had left so much residue, and that just builds into that quicker
Drop
turnaround.
some names.
that
Yeah, we have
that
no guests on this week. Keep it real.
Yeah.
on that one, I was struggling with the Turtle Wax, the hybrid solutions one. It actually was sticking on there quite a bit,
Why would
and
you even
so
buy that, dude?
it was on Pan's list as one of the top 10 or one
With
of
the
his top lists,
the
right?
flex wax one.
No, it was the hybrid solutions, just there's regular soap.
Oh, the soap. Oh, okay. I thought you meant
Yeah.
the spray on.
Mm.
Yeah.
No, and I noticed that I had to, once I foamed it, I had to go and rinse it off 2 times, right? I did like it, but it just took a little bit extra step. And now, like the last time I was using Rogue, and that stuff was just quick rinse, no problem, right? And even after it dried off, it activated real quick. So it just, using the right products, not necessarily using a hammer, like touchless stuff, makes a big difference in that approaching speed and quality.
Out the Trunk has a really good comment.
Thank you. I was gonna say that.
Where he
Out the
says out
trunk.
here in Cali, people would rather get 10 cars at $50 each, but it's rushed. But to them, they make
Yeah.
500 in a day. It's tough to get 2 details at $250 each, and you can't knock
Right.
the guy for wanting to feed his family.
Absolutely not.
No, heck no.
Yeah.
I mean, every situation is different. Every
Exactly.
demographic is different, right? So,
Yeah.
where I am, you do have those $99 car washes in, out, and you're done. Within an hour. Um, that's not the how could I say it? That's not
The demographic.
the demographic I'm going for, right? All the power to them. I mean, if I could do it,
There's levels to it.
yeah,
Right.
absolutely, right. So
Yeah.
You can say that about anything. A car dealership. You can go to a Toyota dealership. You can go to a Lamborghini dealership. There's different services for different types of people
yeah, absolutely.
and different detailers for those people as well.
Yeah, even dealerships have different levels of detailing. I mean, you got oh yeah, that guy just bought a Corolla. I'm gonna send them through the tunnel wash because they do have a tunnel wash in most of these new car
Complimentary
dealerships.
wash.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a
and
pro
then
tip. If you get your car fixed up at a dealership, make sure you let them know. Do not wash the car after.
do not
'cause
wash my car.
Do
Yeah.
not.
They put
I
it
hang
through a tunnel
signs
wash.
everywhere in the car that says "Do not wash." Do not wash. There's stuff hanging from the side view mirror or the rear view mirror. Do not
And
wash.
the older dealerships that don't have the touchless or the tunnel wash in their back, that they haven't had that built yet, that's even scarier because they got a giant like a half cut 55, those blue 55-gallon drums. They cut it in half, they fill it up with soapy water, and they got definitely
You're
not a
using the
perfectly
same
safe
mint for
brush.
100
not
cars that
definitely
day.
No,
perfectly
not
safe
mint. They're
brush.
using like a blue, wannabe brush, and they
It's
freaking it
the
looks
shop
like
floor brush.
basically it's like a push broom on steroids, and they just go, and it's like, oh my god, man, the new cars come out looking worse than it did when it was dirty.
Yeah, at the dealerships I take my cars to, they used to wash, but now they just give me a coupon to go over to the local car wash.
Oh, wow.
And
probably cheaper.
yeah, so I give that to my kids, and the one still didn't use it.
Maybe they're learning, maybe they're watching your content.
Yeah, right.
Maybe they're listening to the podcast.
They're definitely not listening. They're definitely not watching. The only time they listen is when I say, if you guys are free, bring your car over. I don't have anything going on this weekend. Okay, we'll bring it over. That's it.
There you go. Free car wash at dad's.
Yep. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So yeah. So that's what I enjoy with the kids, when they do get back to me. One lives close. The other one lives about 45 minutes away over by the airport. So don't get to see him as much.
So,
Sweet.
Adamo, did we have another topic for tonight?
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Greg.
I was just going to say, do we have another topic, or do we want to take a quick break here?
Yeah, we do have another topic that we'll touch on, but I think you have a couple of videos for us to kind of break up the two segments, and if hopefully people stick around for a bit, and we'll come right back after.
Do we
these
want to
messages.
answer questions now, or do we
Are
want to
we
keep that to
doing-
the end?
Are we doing chingazos of the week?
We have
Oh, yes.
Maybe
we
not
have
yet.
a few
We'll
questions.
get that set up.
Somebody in the chat, tell me what that is.
You don't want to know.
The one brown guy, the one non-brown
Yeah.
guy here.
Yeah. Well, there's a few of us.
There's a
Don
few of
counts.
us.
Yeah, so just so you guys know, before everything, earlier in the day, I asked a few people to send me over some short videos on some recent cars that they washed after they've sprayed everything off, showing us a little bit of bead. So I just wanted to show you. Start out with our friend Ricardo sent over a video of his McKee's Deep Gloss Sealant, and this is 8 months in too. So take a look at this. This one's going to be the longest one. I apologize, trying to keep them around 10 seconds, but this was 8 months McKee's. So just going forward, I'll let you guys know that my plan is, if we continue to do this, to chop these into about 10 seconds when I get them. But there have been some things going on the family side that I haven't been able to pay too much attention to those type of things. So then we're going to move
Family
over
first,
to, pardon me?
Family first.
Family first. Then we're going to go over to a car that Chingy sent over to us. Chingy, the red one, what kind of car was that? This is the one that had LM graphene.
Yeah, it's got the LM SP Pro. Yeah, the luminous spray coating, the Pro version.
Yeah. So take a look at this. How long ago did you apply this?
Oh, a little over a month now.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. All right.
That looked amazing,
And-
Chingy.
That was better than
That
McKee.
was amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Well, remember, McKee's has been
8
on.
months. 8 months.
8
months.
No,
Eight
I
months,
mean,
yeah.
It's
To be
still
fair to
surprising.
Ricardo.
It's doing better than some coatings I've seen.
Yeah.
So,
8
yeah,
months
some
in.
5-year coatings. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So we got
Maybe some
11
with
second
diamonds
one.
in them.
Yeah, we've got 11-second video here. It's another one from Chingy, and I'll tell you which one it is, or Chingy will tell you which one it is right after. Chingy.
Yeah, that's Yum Serum 4.
That's Yum, sir. Yeah.
Yep. All right, just two quick ones here.
That's not even
Yeah.
flooding.
That one's got to be the craziest one.
Yeah.
That was
hold on.
Ricardo again, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was Ricardo again. Yep. No, that's it.
That's
I
it.
meant to
What
put-
was that last one?
What was on
That
the
was
truck?
Ricardo
Chingy?
again.
That was
Oh,
Ricardo
for
again.
Chingy.
Yeah, I meant to put one more up there, but must not have loaded.
No, not the
Um,
Ricardo one. The other one.
The other
Oh,
one,
That
the
was
trail,
Yum
on
the
the
Yum 4.
Trail Boss Chingy.
Yum 4.
That was Yum 4?
Yum
Yeah.
4.
Yeah, dude, that is a ridiculous,
That was pretty
ridiculous
nasty.
coating.
No flood, no nothing. Like the pressure washer
Yeah.
didn't even stand a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I
so
got to
question-
say, out of the 3 coatings I've used recently, Yum Hydros are probably the craziest. Probably the
And
craziest.
and
Yeah, they have
I
to be.
watched Chingy. I watched the other one that you sent, the Odin V2, and the beads. I mean, it was still beating, but the beads were a lot smaller than what I saw on the Yum. Did you notice that at all?
Yeah, it's got great hydrophobics, but they're just not as made
Sexy.
for camera. I don't know if that's the right way. I don't know if it's the color of the paint or what, but yeah, they're rather small, and they're really nice. But Yum has got some crazy shit going on.
And Franco, Franco and Don, you guys have installed the Yum as well. Is that what you're seeing as well on yours?
Yeah. On the Bronco, I have the Yum 6. Once again, on the passenger side, I'm just letting it ride, just washing and drying. And on the passenger side, from fender to bumper is Yum Naked, including the roof. On the hood and the driver's side and the rear lift gate, I'm putting wax on it. But man, that Yum 6 on the passenger side, just naked, is going on. And mind you, this is my commuter. I've already put several thousand miles on it since I've installed it in November. Still like day one. It is ridiculous. I need to make some footage and send it to you so you can show everybody here. But yeah, dude, it's fantastic, Cody.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Yum 6 on my Lexus is doing amazing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to testing that out here because I say it all the time that coatings come to die in Canada. So
Oh,
in
I
my
was gonna tell
environment,
you,
so
Adamo, you should try out that stuff that Carlos uses. It's the Drive industrial coating. I wonder if that
yeah.
one would
I
be
mean,
Pineapple
I
has an
better.
have four
industrial too.
four vehicles that I can, family vehicles that I can test on. Um, I have 2 sides per vehicle, so yeah, there's 8 coatings I can test and see which one doesn't die. So I haven't had a coating, and I haven't installed Yum or Luminous Diamond or any of the Luminous coatings as of yet. So I think that's going to be
Give me the
my
juicy details. Which ones have failed?
Oh,
All of them.
all of that. Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Every single one that I've tried. So,
hey,
like I
They
said, I
all
haven't
Greg,
fail at
tried.
some point or another.
What's
Greg,
that?
everybody, just real quick, Greg. I liked Chris M's comment. You guys could do a viewer ride photos or showcase details each week, just like we did with those.
That's a good
Yeah.
Yeah,
idea.
that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
That's a great
Would
idea.
Send
you
an
have
email.
the email? Yeah, there you go. It's on
Yep.
the scrolling bottom there, Chris M,
Yep.
or anybody who's watching. If you want to send us just photos or little quick videos of the hydrophobics, or
Absolutely.
yeah, we'll definitely rock that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll showcase some of
Yeah.
the community,
Greg got nothing
some of the
else better to
community
do.
rides
No
during the week.
worries.
That's
Yeah.
that's a fantastic idea.
10 to 15 seconds, no more than 15 seconds. If you guys could do that, that would be
Well, if
great.
they are, we can
or we'll
we can
ban
chop
you.
them up a bit.
Yeah, and if you can, in the
Don't send
email,
us homework. Don't send us editing homework. Just make it 15 seconds. 10
if you guys
seconds.
do email us, make sure you put what products you use to get the result.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Good idea.
And your social
Don,
security number.
Don, just real quick. Have you seen any of the cars back that you put Yum on yet?
No, not as of yet.
That could be a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, I've talked to them. I've talked to all the owners, and they've been keeping it out of the tunnel wash and things like that. Everything is holding up good, but no, I haven't seen them back yet for any type of maintenance at this point.
Good
And
question,
there
Don.
were 3 of them. There were 3 of them that I've installed Yum 4 on.
Okay.
Now, are
All of
you
them?
when those customers come back? Are you gonna let it ride? Just do a normal like wash on them, or are you gonna top it with anything?
I'm going to leave that up to the customer because typically on coated cars, I usually don't top because I want to kind of see how the coating holds up. But if they, I'll have the discussion with them of the sacrificial layer. If they want to go that route, then we could put a sealant or something on top.
Got you.
Yeah, Don. So if I come in and I'm your customer and I don't know any better, I drop my car off and get my ride home or whatever, let you do your work. Let's say driver front fender. Everything on the car is hydrophobic as hell and performing admirably, and that front fender driver side is a little sheety. Are you just gonna top that up? Are you gonna let me know? How do you tackle that?
No, I mean, I'm going to talk to the customer about it, and beforehand, I'm going to try to see if it's clogged or
The
whatever could be.
decon,
Yeah, whatever could be causing the problem. But then when they're there, I'm going to talk to them about it and say, hey, for whatever reason, this doesn't seem to be looking as good as the rest. Do you want me to put something on here to keep it, to try to bring it back up to par and kind of see what they say.
Okay.
All right. So, what's the next subject we're gonna get into, boys?
Well, there was a few of them that kind of got second place votes. One was before and after videos. Um, are they misleading? DIY detailing versus professional detailing. And the last one was ceramic coatings, miracle solution or overhyped upsell.
Let's do that one.
So what's that?
Let's do that one.
Let's do that one. Yeah. Hey, before we get started, real quick, one quick question from J Farm. How much more gloss would you gain by using detailer dry versus a drying aid?
I don't even think you would be able to tell the difference.
Right.
gloss?
I mean,
I don't either. Yeah, it's
well,
very
there is
trivial,
a
but
there can be a difference depending on the product you're using. That could play a huge factor into that. You know,
Yeah, that's
if
true.
you're just using a literal drying aid like whatever OGs or Yum Detailer, you're gonna get some difference, but not much at all. It's gonna be cleaned up by like the next day. You're not gonna notice that much of a difference. But if you're using something like Glossify or something that's meant to have gloss enhancers, then yeah, you're gonna see a little bit more deep or rich look to your paint.
yeah, J Farm. What I like to do, and I did this a lot with the wet coat because I had a gallon of it, but I would use it as a drying aid. I would spritz it down on the wet panels, dry it, and then go back like Josh said in his videos. You can dry it, and then go ahead and a couple of sprays per panel and use it as you put it on dry, so you get kind of a double whammy. And
You
on
mean
my
hot coat?
particular, yeah, hot coat. Yeah, what did I say? Wet coat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but anyways, hot coat. Yes, yeah. So you can boost the gloss that way if you're not getting what you want out of the drying aid, but that's just a little bit more work after you've done doing your thing. So, but
Mhm.
it's an option. But it did help with the hot coat when I was putting it, and of course my metallic-y blue paint, just shines like a mother
Just
when I
pops.
do it that way. And,
Yeah,
and it
that,
works the same with the Yum Detailer too.
Yeah. Well, Corey made the comment, and I was going to mention as well. It's something maybe for next week we can touch on at some point in the podcast because I know Corey has a gloss meter. I have a gloss meter as well.
Oh,
We
Oh,
can
fancy.
actually check
Got monies.
with, I guess, science or the and see how it goes. So.
cool.
All right.
All
All
So
right.
right. So
So,
what was the subject? I'm sorry.
yeah, well, let's go ahead and read that question there, Adama, for us so we can kick that off.
Absolutely. So the question was ceramic coatings, miracle solution or overhyped upsell, longevity claims versus reality, pricing versus benefit.
I love this question. Can I start it off?
kick
Yes.
it
Yes,
off,
yeah,
sir.
you
please.
were excited. Go for it.
Go
I,
for
I
it,
would
Vice.
love
Vice is chomping at the bit.
I would love if you guys could explain to me the difference between applying a ceramic coating and applying a ceramic sealant often. Do you think you would be able to tell the difference?
Wait a minute. I gotta back this up because so do you mean like putting on a ceramic sealant every like week versus like doing it every few,
Let's say like every month.
okay, now versus doing an actual ceramic coating every month?
Yeah,
Who's
exactly.
putting on a ceramic coating every month? So let's
No,
start
no.
Well,
there.
no, not a ceramic
No.
coating every month. Let's say you ceramic coat the left side of your hood, and then the right side you put a ceramic
Sealant. Okay, I get what you're
sealant
saying.
every month. Do you think
Okay.
you would ever be able to tell the difference? Let's just like ignore the fact of hydrophobics, because realistically, would a customer really care like how tight the beads are? Do you think there'd be a difference in the benefits that we sell ceramic coatings for, like keeping the car cleaner for longer, um, you know, glides over the mitt, easier to wash, things like that?
I think
Okay.
so. So I mean, you got to look at the thickness of the coatings, so the microns, right? So you may have a thicker barrier there with a coating versus a sealant. I don't know if anyone's ever been able to measure that, but you're supposed to have a certain thickness of your coating. But then also too, you've got coatings that are actually shedding and have some repelling of the dirt, or self-cleaning, self-healing. I don't know if there's a lot of sealants that have any self-healing claims, and even the self-healing claims in some coatings are well over exaggerated, but there are some that do, right? And then you've got so a good example is Tech 582. It's not a real thick sealant, but it's a sealant. It's I've noticed it attracts dust, right? I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but when I use it, it attracts a little dust.
Heat Maker
Coatings,
2.0.
yeah, coatings don't really. They're a little bit better at shedding dust. In other words,
They really are. And I want to take the next and then we'll throw it to somebody else. But the way I look at advice is like if you're using a coating versus a sealant every other wash. Let's say you wash twice a month and you're putting it on one of those months and you're still getting the hydrophobics, you're getting still the cleaning. The ease of cleaning is key, but I look at the coatings as a base layer. And
I
what I'm
agree with
doing with
that.
the Bronco is I'm waxing to see if I do a decon wash on that wax. When the passenger side fails, is the yum still going to be there underneath the waxed side? So um and really and truly that's just out of curiosity, but at the same time, like, why wax if you have a coating on it? I like waxing because it's fun. I like using sealants before. Yeah, washing a car and just walking away is really really freaking boring for me. So if I can have that coating on my vehicle, on my girlfriend's vehicle, on the customers, it's a base coating and I can put stuff all over I could top it off as much as I want, but it has that coating. So let's say next month I just don't feel like putting a wax or a coating on it, or a spray sealant. I don't have to. I'm not worried about it because it's already got that base layer and it's going to be hydrophobic. It's going to be easy to clean. So that's just my take on it. Like it's a base layer, for me
Yeah.
personally. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Let me
Conway and
from what
Jason,
Conway just put
yeah,
as a
Conway and
comment.
Jason both made some great points.
yeah.
But if you have, you're saying sealants can easily be affected by really stout cleaners, but if you're cleaning the surface, in my example, once you're done cleaning the surface, you're going to reapply the ceramic coat, the sealant. So I feel like that argument isn't that valid
No, but I think
because
the
you
valid
can
point that they're
constantly
making,
reapply the sealant, right?
yeah, the valid point that they're making though is I think the biggest difference between the two is the chemical resistance, because a
Hmm.
sealant's not going to have the chemical resistance that a true ceramic coating is going to have.
Exactly.
So,
But
that's
is
where
chemical resistance really a plus if you're going to reapply the sealant anyway?
yeah, because you're assuming that the person's, I mean, I know you're doing this hypothetical,
Yeah,
every
hypothetically.
month, but let's come down to reality where the most of our customers may not be coming back every month. We might not even see them for 6 months or even a year in some cases. And that's who the ceramic coating's for. If you got a maintenance client, yeah, your sealant theory might hold a little bit of water, but it's still not going to have a 1 to 14 pH chemical resistance like a ceramic coating would.
And you
I
got
have
to
a, I
take
have
an.
a question.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Don.
How many of us on here, show of hands, has a coating on their car versus not having a coating on their car?
I have a dead one. Does
That
that
I
count?
doesn't
got
count.
I got coatings.
I'm
I,
rocking no
And I
coating on
guess,
my car right now.
yeah, and I guess the
no
question is
coding.
why that is, and again, I don't think there's wrong or right. I think it's, you know,
It's usually wrong, but go ahead.
yeah, it probably is. I think it depends upon whose car we're talking about. Like, a customer car, again, we're not going to see that car that often. Or I don't, I mean, I don't have a ton of maintenance clients that come, but we don't know what they're doing with their car. And, typically when we're talking to them about the benefits of not having to clean their car as often, or their car staying more clean with a coating. That's kind of the upsell from a coating standpoint versus, hey, just bring it back to me once every month. It's cheaper. We'll just do a sealant on there. I mean, I don't think there's, like I said, I think let the client make that choice. But I think it's, it does go hand in hand with the chemical resistance and the ability to shed some of the the dirt away.
Yeah,
So
There's a
Don,
cat. There's a cat. Wait. Oh, no. I'll let you finish, but Fernando's cat is like, like talk.
Fernando's cat has to make a
Yeah.
special appearance every episode.
And he jumps
Okay.
on the chair and just startles me, right? So he's off the chair now.
And Fernando,
So
have you put a coating on your Telluride yet, or?
No, and that's, I have no coatings on either car, and it's mostly I was waiting for the summer to end, and so I bought Pan's 8-year, right? And I was gonna put it on my car, and that's when Ryan's video came out. Like, well, maybe this is not for Arizona, right? But then I'm like, all right, let me try it out. And so, but I keep going, like, on my car. I'm like, should I put it? Should I put it on my wife's car? And the other thing is, like, now with all these 1-year coatings, maybe that's more of what I need. Or right now I'm debating on what I'm gonna do, right? And so that's why I haven't put something on there, but I do want something on there. But right now I am putting sealants on there. Right now I'm on the hot coat kick, and that leaves the car feeling nice and slick. And
Oh, it's a great product.
then the other one that I tried was the spray and rinse, the touch on by Built Hember.
yeah,
I
you
really
that.
like that one. I loved
Yeah,
it.
it's nice, silky
And
smooth.
it's so
Huh?
easy. Yeah, it's silky smooth, and it's easy, right? You just spray and
Yeah.
rinse. You foam it on there, and I didn't think it was going to foam that well, but it just put like a nice layer, and then rinse it right off, and off we went. I mean, it just took minutes. So I keep debating myself. Is like, is that good enough? And the only thing that I would think of would be the coatings would offer probably higher UV protection, which is something I need in the desert here in Arizona.
Yeah.
And that's
good
where
point.
I'm going with. I am going to put a ceramic coating. I'm still debating. I got Contiba. I got the 8-year. I got Phoenix EOD, thick, and so I keep going. And I've got a bunch of the 1-years.
Oh, and you also
Stack
have
'em
the
all.
you
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
the new. Don't you have the bays? Aren't you going to be able to use the bays when you decide to, like, get out of the sun and,
Yeah.
like,
So
really put on a coating or whatever you want to do?
I did go over there to check it out, the base Mesa, and I talked with Mike out there, and he's like, yeah, come on in, and your first, whoever's in Phoenix, he's saying first hour is free for your first visit. So I thought that was a pretty cool way of getting customers, right?
Customers in the
And
door.
and so it's like, yeah, and I'll give you a little leeway possibly if you're shooting content. Like, all right, so I'm gonna use that, but I figured I was gonna wait till it got a little warmer. Right now, it's still okay to go detail outside, and right now in the mid 80s. So
Yeah.
once it gets 110, I'm definitely going out there.
You'll love putting on that clean coating. You'll love it.
You'll love it, and you can even
Yeah,
now
I wouldn't
stack
worry
it with the
about that
1-year
video
coating.
you watched.
Yeah. Look,
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Fernando. Go ahead.
yeah, I'm all about putting it, but now I keep going back, like, maybe on my wife's car, because she's like, all right, one coating, you don't have to touch my car that much. But I'm gonna get bored on my car, and that's why I'm thinking of going with like a Contiba that lasts like a 2-year. I was thinking of using a Yum Serum 2, shorter, less solids. And so that way I keep refreshing and playing around with different coatings. So that's kind of where I'm at. I still haven't finalized it,
Yeah.
but
But I mean, don't worry about, like, Ryan put out his video, and that's like I'm not saying a 101 because a lot of people jumped on the hate train after that, and they all like all of a sudden Pans coating went from being the best coating in the world to like hey, this is the crappiest coating in the world. But there's a lot more people out there that have a lot of cars out there that they've charged money for, and they're saying that it's doing great. And it's on. There's so many variables involved with a
Yeah, his
coating.
his was in a
Yeah,
very tiny spot, which is
Yeah.
weird. Why would it
yeah,
be on that one specific area? Like,
Well,
in my
let's not get
opinion, just
into
watching the video,
yeah.
it
Let's not get
seemed
into theoretical things, or because I don't want to make like any we want to be in facts. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
let's just say
we
that there's
weren't
a
there.
lot of
We don't know.
variables.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
and
I'm
I've
not a
I
chemist. I
was
don't know anything.
Right. Right.
go ahead,
and
Greg.
I've gone to his shop. I've gone
Greg,
to
I
his
think you're
shop.
muted.
Greg, you're muted.
Yeah, Greg's
Yeah,
muted.
guys, sorry about that.
You're trying to talk.
I try to talk. Nobody's listening to me. Oh, that's why. Chingy was trying to say something a little earlier. I don't know if you remember what you were, the point you were trying to make, Chingy, but go ahead. You got the
Yeah,
floor.
no, it was the last topic about the benefits of the coating, and Conway touched on it. There's a lot more than just the chemicals we're putting on the car. It's the chemicals coming up off the ground. During the rainy season, you've got all the salt on the road. You've got all the different contaminants that are coming in contact with that paint, and I just believe that coating has a thicker, more durable barrier against those contaminants and all the different chemicals that can come in contact.
1000%.
I just tell me your price range. I'll tell you which coating, if it's in your price range, that I
Yep.
think would do great. And I've got a couple of clients where it's never going to be in the price range. They do housekeeping. They're making $25 an hour, but they still want a pretty car, right?
Yeah.
So hey, you know what? I've got some really good sealants, and now with these 1-year spray coatings,
Yeah, absolutely.
a real coating is now up at the upper end of their range, right? I think that 2026 is the year of the 1-year coatings, just like rinseless was last year. But yeah, that's all I was gonna bring up. But back to Fernando, you're gonna love the install of Clean. Um, and I made this comment after I installed Yum 4. It was a moody son of a bitch. I was pretty open about the struggle I had with the changing environment and the humidity. I had no issues installing Pens coating whatsoever. To date, it's the easiest coating I've ever installed, where I just was kind of blown away. Like, this can't be this easy. Even Chelsea has a video where she kind of captured that same feeling that I had when she installed it. She was like, okay, I'm going to do the whole fucking hood, right? And you kind of even have to tell yourself that's not a good idea, but you really feel like you're in such control of it, and there's so much time that if you don't have a lot of coatings under your belt, I would highly recommend people
It's a great one to use. Yeah,
use that coating.
it's very forgiving.
Absolutely. The 3-year is a breeze. I've installed that 3 times. I haven't installed the 8, but from everyone's feedback, is
The 8's the same way.
the
Same way. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got the 8-year on one of my cars, and it was a breeze, and it actually held up in the fridge when you cap it off and seal the brim. It'll hold up for probably a good 6 months or so if you keep it in the fridge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've
So,
been thinking of with the 8-year topping it with a 1-year just to see, and maybe
I was
part of
gonna
it
say
just
that.
to see if it does add slickness, because I think that's one of the things that Pan was saying, that it adds an extra layer of slickness, the higher slickness of the pan of the 1-year.
Do you
So
have
Yeah.
this 1-year?
yeah, I have both of them. I have
Okay,
Yeah.
8
I
and
would
1.
I would definitely stack if I was in your shoes. Have fun with it. I mean, what the hell are you holding on to all this stuff for?
Yeah,
It's
and
gonna
if you
go
don't
bad
like it,
eventually.
Exactly.
polish it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, send
The,
it over
the
here.
main
I'll
reason
take it.
why I asked that question, guys, is not because I believe it, but I have gotten this question multiple times from clients.
Yeah.
Why
It's
why
a
would I
valid
get a ceramic coating? The ceramic sealant is 3 months. I can come back every 3 months, even though they're not going to come back every 3 months. I'm like, Yeah, I mean, you know, it really just depends on the client's budget at the end of the
I just
day.
tell them, hey,
Mhm.
everyone else is doing it. Why aren't you doing it? Come on, man. You want to
I
do it.
that's one of my selling points. I'm like, have you ever driven on the road and seen some cars that just look like insanely clean? It's not because they just got washed. It's because those most likely have a ceramic coating. But
Absolutely. Even when my
No,
car is dirty, it looks clean.
yeah,
Even
you
when
just
it's
gotta hose it
dirty.
off.
Yeah.
yeah. Dude, the Bronco looks clean 24/7 and it can be dirty as hell.
But yeah, I just want to get that point across,
Greg.
guys. I am all for ceramic coatings.
No,
Sure don't sound
Ricardo,
like it.
if you want to hit that link, Ricardo, we'll have you. But uh, Greg, you want to kick it over to some questions, chat, comment questions? I kind of like
Yeah.
the EJBs. You know what is the best? We'll just kick off with that one. I know there were some.
Yeah, there you go. So, what is the best 1 year coating that you guys have used so far?
Well,
The best doesn't exist.
yeah, I'll say that the Luminous LM Graphene SP Pro I put through the ringer because I did it in direct sun. It was a hot day, and the panels were really hot, and it didn't bat an eye. You keep it small, wipe on, wipe off, 2x2, and I watched it, I think 6 days later, and that's the footage you guys saw earlier. Super slick. I can't give feedback on durability at all, but you know they say it's a up to 18-month coating, and you get 250 mils in that bottle, and the shelf life is years long.
Yes.
And I don't like talking about products I haven't used yet, but for the ones that I have, that one is pretty badass. That one's yeah.
Do you not like Katiba Chingy? Because you sent me this one for free.
Yeah,
That's why I got rid of it. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Well, it was that sale, man. They went on sale for like
Yeah, $32 for that whole kit. Yeah.
That is a fantastic 1 year coating. Holy crap.
yeah.
I
Frankly,
almost used
free
half
and
the
do
bottle. I
something
went nuts
right.
with it.
yeah.
I put that on
Yeah,
silver
this-
paint. I put it on a Toyota Tundra, and it was redonkulous. Vice,
Yeah.
what about you and your 1 year coatings? What do you think is the best?
Man, I'm gonna be honest. I haven't installed a single 1 year coating ever. I've never had the opportunity
Poser.
to do it. Most likely, I mean, honestly, like I've had clients that don't want to pay for a 3 year, and I offer them the 1 year, but they almost always say no and then go for the just a
The
basic
3 year anyways.
Yeah.
How many of you
But
guys
I haven't
still
had one
on-
bite yet. But I have this bad boy sitting for when they say yes.
Use it, bro. Use it.
Oh,
Who here has used Amplify?
Amplify
hell's
is
that?
30 days.
Or not Amplify? What's the
Phobic.
Excuse me.
Phobic. I've used Phobic. Phobic is a
Mhm.
very serviceable spray coating. I mean, I think the best if right, since I'm on the subject, I would say Luminous is probably the best, and Kataba's right next to it, I would think, and then I would say Next Gen is pretty decent as well. Now I have not tried Pans or the new DIYs 1 year coatings, so I will hold judgment to that. But I'll take Conway's word for it that the Luminous is better than those. But
The SP
I'll still
Pro
give them a
is
shot.
quite special for sure.
Yeah, it
And
is special.
Jason made a great comment. You can stack it on itself.
Mm-hmm.
But you need to wait an hour in between coats.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
I
hear
think
the Fireball
they
makes a
make
good one too.
I think
Oh,
they
yeah.
make Luminous. The SP, SP Pro has such a jetting darkening effect as
It does.
well.
Yeah, if you got a dark car, it's definitely a
yeah,
good idea.
I think that can make a difference too, based upon your paint color.
Yeah, the contact angle on that one too is
Yeah,
like, across the board. I know this may be a blanket statement, but in my opinion, like those Korean brands, they really
Nailed it.
nailed the coating, the spray coating, the
They know their
sealant.
beads.
Yeah,
Mhm,
yeah,
mhm.
they know their beads exactly. That's a great way to put it.
I just
What about
hesitate to get
Immortal? Somebody, Chris in the chat said Phoenix EOD.
I have
Yeah.
it. I've
Chingy,
never used it. That's my take on it.
Chingy, I think you've used Immortal a few times, haven't you?
I have on exterior and interiors, and yeah, it does its job. It does its job. I don't have any durability on it though. The only durability that I can give feedback on was the interior,
Yeah,
and
speak on that a little bit more. I mean, that's a
Yeah,
very
because
interesting
that makes it
concept.
special.
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I think separates Immortal from the rest because they don't advise it for any of the other ones. And Immortal, I've done 3 interiors with it, and I mean, you can take rinseless to that puppy afterwards, and nothing sticks. Um,
It's
I
quite a unique characteristic of
yeah,
it for sure.
the only thing I will recommend is even outdoors, that puppy, the odor is
Yeah, you got to wear a respirator, man.
oh yeah, that one's really really strong. But so is the luminous. I'm pretty sensitive to the gases, and I've gotten lightheaded the last few times. I think I told you guys, like, man, I don't know if I'm just getting older or what's going on. Where younger, you could huff, that stuff, and nothing happened. But
People pay extra to huff that stuff sometimes.
yeah, yeah. But
But now, what was the characteristics of it when you put it on the interior? Did it change the look of the like the substrates in any way? Did it make it glossy? Did it
so
make it
uh,
more deeper
initially,
colors?
initially, you do see a little bit of gloss, but it ends up fading away, and you've got an OEM look. Now the darker leather, though, it does darken it. But I put it on a tan um, leather interior on this Sentra. I think it was a 22 or a 23. Yeah, something like that. I've got content on it.
I
But
don't know if I'd ever use it on leather. You got a lot more balls than I do,
Yeah,
the
my good friend there.
tan
Yeah,
looked
you had a lot of trust in Immortal there.
OEM. The tan looked
yeah.
great. The dark leather though did look a little bit darker. It did have some jetting on the darker leather.
I just saw Chris M's comment, and I swear to God, I read it as I used the butt stuff back when I was young and broke, and I was like, "Oh Lord, that's my bad." No judgment here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
When it
about
comes
you,
to
Greg?
leather, I stick to Geist and Shield. I like to keep it as OEM as possible, but I'll give it a shot on someone else's car.
So who got me into the leather was Adrian, Detailed AF, and he showed
Yeah.
me a video of his suede shoes, and they were repelling water like a duck's feathers, man. It was incredible. So he was like, "Oh yeah, you could do it," and I was
That's the
like, "Yeah,
weirdest
dude,
analogy I've ever heard.
You've
don't."
never heard that before?
Like
No,
water off a duck's back. You never heard that?
Yeah,
You've never
No,
heard
I've
that?
heard
I
that
don't know.
before. I
Maybe
just
Wow.
maybe I'm not old enough. I don't know. I've never heard that in my
yeah, you
life.
got to be a little older, bro. You need some more
what kind of
drink.
duck you got on the brain there, Vice?
That was
But
hilarious.
but yeah, he swore I wouldn't regret it, and I was very very happy with the results. The customer loved it, and she's given me good feedback. So and I see it occasionally at work too. It still looks great.
All right.
Did you
Nice.
You
try it
want
on
to
the
go? Let's go.
carpet?
Let's go. Let's go to a next question after y'all talk about that little point right there.
Hey, Chinky, did you try it on the carpet?
No, I'd use smart fabric on the carpet.
Okay.
All right. Let's go to the next question.
The latest one I see is Ricardo's. Yeah, there you go.
How are you making it work cost wise, Chingy, with the SP Pro as part of your wash clay seal? More expensive than a normal sealant?
Yeah, absolutely. So I gave them a deal, but I ended up charging her 350 because I see her all the time. Um, but I would start at 500. Um, depending on what you're doing with the paint, go up accordingly. But this client is pretty special with me, so I hooked her up, and I was also knowing that I wanted to test it too, so I was like, let's go with 350, and you got to come back. So that's the deal. It's one I'll see regularly. So
So if Chingy likes you, it's 350. If he doesn't know you, it's 500. If he hates you, it's 600.
yeah,
If your family, it's 750.
There
But
you
that,
go.
that sounds like the consensus of what I've from the conversations we've all had here on the of course on our Discord and just chatting. But the mid 600s,
yeah.
half a grand for but are you guys including polishing with that? Is that a quick enhancement, or you
I
just washing, clean, and then putting a 1 year? Like how do y'all break that down?
Yeah, I did a really quick enhancement. I did put the machine on it, but I didn't spend much time at all. The paint has on the hood, you can see on that hydro video, there's some permanent etching in there, and she's got a lot of rock chips. Um,
Mm.
and yeah, paint correction is not really possible because of those rock chips. And I there's just so many. Like it, I would just have it repainted. Um, but everywhere else, it just I breezed through it. I probably spent an hour polishing that thing.
Yeah, you're gonna have to pay me more to break out the polishers. I,
I was
I
gonna
ain't
say
polishing.
350 to
Yeah,
put a polisher. You
I was
must
about to
really
ask.
like her.
I was about to ask Don and Vice and even Greg. I mean, like, how do y'all, would doing a quick enhancement for 500-600 bucks for a 1 year? Would y'all rock that, or y'all up higher? Talking about a 1 year coating.
I don't charge, so it would just be on my family's cars, and if it's one of my son's friends' cars, they just give me a gift certificate to the House of Rag, so I can get some more stuff. So for me, I'm not charging any of that. So
I thought you were gonna say the House of Pancakes. I was like, oh, he's gotta get that early bird special.
no, that's the buffet for dinner. We have to be there at 4:30.
There you go.
Yeah, for 1 year, and if you're, doing a little bit of paint correcting or, enhancement, yeah, I mean, I would be in that area, in that range.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
one
I
year.
think Conway just nailed it. 850 is
Yep.
about right.
A 1 year for me with an enhancement goes from 750 to an 1150, depending on the size of the vehicle.
Wow.
I'm just
Wow.
talking about.
Okay.
I'm just talking about a straight like Chingy's saying, hey, I'm just gonna go over it with a quick buffer, like just get the any sealants off or anything like that. That would be about 850 to $1,000 for me. And then if it needs like a paint correction, then yeah, it's gonna be like probably closer to like 1,200 to 1,500 depending on the
Yeah,
extent.
for sure.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
mind you, we're
So
all in different areas, so the price
Yeah, exactly.
varies
Yeah.
vastly.
Different
yeah,
areas.
and Adamo's 850 is about $65 US anyway. So
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true.
yeah. So
Not
the one
including
thing I wanted
tariffs.
to say, because Vice
Exactly.
was asking me to follow up. So I don't have a favorite 1 year. I have a few. But when I go back east to do my friend's car and cousin's car, I'm sending a UPS package it'll have the LM Graphene SP Pro in it, and I'll use that on my cousin's caddy and that on my friend's car or another coating that I have. But most likely it's going to be the Luminous.
Yeah, and one thing I
I
want to
think
tell all
there's
the audience is definitely don't hold on to these coatings. Use them up. I mean, because there is a finite time you do have to use this stuff. So
there is a
don't
shelf
hold
life.
on. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
So use it.
Don't be
Have
afraid.
fun with
Don't be
it.
afraid to go heavy
Yeah.
handed with it and apply it like a
Yeah.
coating. Yeah, use it up.
Yeah. Don't be
Yeah.
hoarders. Because by the
There is a
time you
shelf
get to
life.
using it, by the time you get to use it, there's gonna be something else better that you're gonna want to buy anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some of us paid $42 for the LM Graphene SP Pro. Some of us paid $80
lucky
for it.
bastard.
So
Yes, that's very true.
Oh, you're not sour on that at all, are you, Greg?
Oh, I paid $42.
No, yeah, we got it. We got the
He's
lower
stocked
price.
up.
And there are some advantages to the Luminous as well. Is shelf life is longer than some of the
Right.
than some of the one years out there.
If you got more
Unless
time
you
in
get
between,
next in where you put in the freezer and it's good indefinitely,
Lifetime.
right? So
Yeah.
right. So
Honestly,
definitely,
in my
definitely
opinion, I think 1 years are kind of a gimmick. It only really makes sense, in my opinion, for the customers that don't want to pay for a full coating. I don't see why anybody else would want it. Even to top your ceramic coating, like I guess that's an argument. But I personally don't like topping coatings, so it just doesn't really rock with me. How do you guys feel about that?
I
And on
mean,
that one,
I don't think they're.
a lot-
I think that they fit a segment of the market
right.
that
A
wanted,
small
I
segment.
wanted some, and I don't know how small, right? I mean, you look at the state of the country. There's more poor people than there are people who have $2,500 for you to throw liquid on their car.
exactly.
And probably 80% of the population could give a shit what their paint looks like, right? So, and if there's real, solids in there, I agree with you. They don't compare to a real coating, but I think that's just the percentage of solids. And I'll be honest, man, that if you can get 18 months out of a spray coating, that's pretty legit. I mean, I got 18 months out of Synchro, out of Geon Synchro, and I was expecting a year. I mean, that Honda's kept outdoors all year long, and that's what I took off to put the Luminous on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, Vice. Would you rather not use it and not take that job, or would you?
I'd
if we
rather
have
the
a
customer
certain type
save
of
up
budget,
more money to get the 3-year, in my opinion.
but they might not
Like
come
at the
back.
end of the day, the job I'm gonna do on a 1-year and the job I'm gonna do on a 3-year look vastly different.
and that's exactly right. If you're doing a 1 year, I would go with a wash clay seal on that. Whereas if you're doing a long term, then that's when you bring in the paint enhancement. That's when you bust out the polisher. Because at that point, I mean, and I think somebody just said it right there, that 80% of the cost is the polishing, right? Is a paint correction.
That's true.
And so, I mean, if you're gonna polish it, why put something that's 1 year that it's not going to be all the work that you did is gone. You're going to have to polish it to put something else a little later,
Oh,
unless you top
absolutely.
it with the same stuff over, and it's still, you're at risk of that other coating coming off of it. And
But if that's what the customer wants,
exactly,
I know you can.
I hate these arguments. They're so nuanced.
Yeah, you can say to them, if you wait and save a little bit more, maybe next year we can do this, or down the road, or there's so, like you said, so many nuances, so many variables. Some people don't care, they just want that 1 year to tide them over until they can do it again next year. So
not to mention, you could get pretty creative with all the different scenarios where you can use 1 year coating. It doesn't necessarily have to be like a normal stereotypical coating job. Like if you got a brand new car that just came off the lot and you don't see sealants, there's no evidence of sealants on there, and you don't have to do a polish job, but the customer wants a little bit extra more protection than a spray and rinse or a sealant, you can go right to the 1 year coating and charge a little bit extra and get a little bit extra out of that. You can also just save YOLO it, and even if it doesn't need a polish job and they say, well, no, skip that and just go ahead and do the 1 year coating on it over it anyways. I've seen Phobic still get over a year with with a shitty substrate to begin with. You know what I mean?
Somebody in the chat had Phobic for 2 years.
Yeah, Dragon's got 18 months on his.
Yeah, I mean, so it's all about, you know, the scenario. I mean, if you're not the type of person that pushes it on the customer, then okay, good for you. Go for the 3-year, 5-year. I mean, that's your bag. You know what I mean? But
I just kind of push for that because at the end of the day, it goes back to like, the quality. I would love it if that customer is like absolutely ecstatic when they get their car back. If I'm just doing a 1 year, I'm not going to polish, my opinion. I'm not
Yeah,
going to polish.
big deal.
So is there going to be that much of a difference? Like, you're probably not going to see that much. But if you get the
right.
3-year, it's going to be a pretty big difference.
Of course, I agree with you there.
But yeah, that's just me
And
saying
like
my
Dan
piece.
says, some people just like wax.
Damn
That
right
is
we do.
true. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier too. Yeah.
Oh my God, let's open up that can of worms.
There we go. Go ahead.
That
We
porcelain
got
wax.
a little time left.
here
So
we
if
go.
we want to talk about wax, let's go.
Franco, you're the wax god. I need you to rip
Franco
this
and
open.
he turned his camera back on for the wax. Franco and I spent, what was it, one night? It was just me and him. I think we talked.
Oh
I don't know.
shit, it was like 40, 50 minutes. Yeah.
We were on till 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, you know, and
That was another
Jackson.
wax talk.
if a customer, you know, of course, a lot of us, I think wax has a bad stigma. Yes, it does take a little more work, you know, a lot more work, whatever. But I think it's stigmatized as it takes you 2 hours to do a wax versus a spray-on sealant that's going to last, you know, if it says 12 months, a sealant, you know, it's going to be 6 months. And if you put a wax on, it says 3 months and it might last a month and a half. But I think it's just stigmatized. If a customer comes up to you and says, I want a wax. Well, actually, if you put the sealant, if I put the sealant on, it's going to be a lot better. Yeah, this and this and that.
You're lying.
Are you arguing that you don't want to do the work more than anything else? You know, like do waxing is a pain in the ass, and I kind of don't want to do it. And this is going to be a lot better. And you might have the customer say, "Oh, okay, well, yeah, I didn't know that," but this is.
I was
fun
telling
conversation,
Franco
man.
earlier, like, I wouldn't do a wax unless a customer like explicitly says I need a wax. And at the same time, if you got like a 2010 Corolla, I'm not gonna put wax even if you want it. Like, there's just no point.
It doesn't make sense. Yeah, it doesn't make
There's
sense.
just no point. But if
Speaking
you
of wax,
if you got a 1967 Bel Air, I'm gonna put a wax on it.
Yeah, if I see a
Leppy,
single
Leppy
stage,
has a black Corolla and he loves his Corolla. Well, what if he wants a wax on? You just tell him no and kick rocks, motherfucker.
I'll be like, you trust me, you don't want that. You don't want it.
yeah.
Or
Speaking of
I'll give him the
wax.
price that the FU price. I'll be like, oh, okay, I can do it. $700.
But that's the thing too. Like that's you know, let's go back to the conversation that we had earlier. Your time you know, your cost per hour. You know, let's say you value it at, you know, $100, $120 an hour. It genuinely, a Corolla takes you 30 minutes to wax, depending on the wax you use, because there is a difference. You can use a wax that they all go on super easy. It's when you take them off is like, are you going to be fighting that wax because it is a little more grabby or whatever, as opposed to like 3D cherry wax or yum wax, where it just comes off like a dream. And
liquid
but
versus
for the
paste.
most, yeah, exactly. But you know, you're arguing that
Conway
you
said,
can do-
I'm talking my customers out of more work and making a living. Well, I'm doing this as a side hustle. So like, that's what I was telling Matt the other day too. Like, I don't care turning down customers, to be honest. Like, sometimes
Apparently.
it's not worth my time.
Yeah.
And that's because I have the freedom to do that. I don't live off this income. So
yeah. But I
Jack's
mean,
popped into
like I
the-
was saying, if
Yeah,
you can
shout out to
charge,
Jax.
Jack's popped into the
Oh,
chat.
Jax.
You know, we talk about wax and Jack showed up. His
he felt the
video
disturbance
on
in the
that.
force.
Yeah, his video on the porcelain wax, the Katiba.
Just for Jax.
Man, there's the luminous one.
Wax isn't a
But
really
like I
good
was saying, it is a lot more work. But if you value, like if somebody says, well, I want a wax, and your basic wash is $100, and you say, okay, well, it's going to be $100 for that wax. Oh, well, go ahead and do it. why have anything more of a conversation to say like, but instead of making that $100, I can give you this $20 spray coating that's going to last 12 months, and I can be done in 10 minutes, and that only costs $50 upcharge. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
What were you saying, Chingy?
No, I think wax is in a really good place right now. I think there's that. Franco mentioned the stigma of it. It was just carnauba wax, right? It was just your traditional carnauba, and didn't last very long. But you've got graphene infused, you've got sealant waxes, you've got all these
Montane wax.
amazing hydrophobics, and with Jax being in the room, the video with Katiba's wax is incredible. But you go back to Eddie's lives where he's shown multiple waxes on side-by-side panels, and the hydros are amazing. They're amazing, and they're offering long-term durability compared to your traditional carnauba. And then you've got the real high-end classic vehicles where I don't think that. Some coatings often offer amazing gloss, but something about the wax look, that wetness to the paint, just shines brighter.
Single stage paint, you definitely will not get the same gloss you would with wax.
Exactly.
It's like a piece of art.
Yeah.
It's incredible. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
So I see both sides. Both sides absolutely have some validity to it, but.
It's like the same argument with the 1 year.
Yeah. Greg, you want to answer Jax?
Yeah. So I'll definitely head down to Vegas, Jax, if that's an invitation. I'll get a hold of you next month in May, and we can set something up. I've got
Greg's got to pencil you in the schedule.
Yeah.
He's got a book calendar, let me tell you.
Yeah, I've got a 4-week trip back to the East Coast from Florida all the way up to Pennsylvania, starting the end of May, to visit family and friends and do some pretty interesting things for the channel. And then
you got to pay double for Vincent too.
What's that?
He's got to pay double to see Vincent.
Yeah.
Depends if Big A has a few jobs for you or not.
Yeah,
in the meantime.
But yeah, I definitely like to head down that way. That would be fun. I've also heard that you barbecue too. So no, I didn't hear about it. I saw it, so I know that for a fact.
So Damo, is Big A like Vincent's pimp or something?
Big A is the boss.
I would say boss.
All right.
Yeah.
I just think it has a very pimpish feel to it.
Unless you know the better.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
something we don't talk about. If I tell you, I'll kill you.
Greg, do you have Jax's email? I think I have his email, but we need to get him on the show one of these days. If
I do.
Have any
I'd love
objections,
to have Jax on.
Right on.
Yep.
I can reach out to
if
him.
you're watching, we need you on the show.
I have a lot of questions about wax. And
inviting
Franco
you.
got even more.
I have his contact info. We'll get him on, Greg, for sure.
Yeah. So what I was going to say about wax is my friend's convertible red Mustang that I made that video on after I won that from the House of Rags, and I put the luminous eclipse on that back in September before it was available for sale, and that just looked amazing on that red car. The complete car lasted until the beginning of mid of January, and he just sent me a picture Monday or Tuesday this week that there are still spots on the car where there's really good hydrophobics from it. Not the whole car, just spots of it. And that car we're going to put Yum 2 on it.
Yum 2's got some good gloss to it.
Yeah, Yum 2 gives you that little bit of a wax-like glow.
Yes, I agree. All right, that's enough of wax.
Yeah. Franco had his time.
That's enough of that. Wax is great.
So that was good. We're coming up on 2 hours, so I'm curious if we got about 10 minutes before we get into the second hour, and we can wrap this up.
If you guys got any questions, drop them down.
Yeah,
drop them.
the
Drop them.
questions down in
Yeah.
the chat.
On the actual CCC emails, have you been hit up with any questions there? Not yet.
No questions, but I think
No.
I've mentioned the email that Chris M sent me about the Katiba products, and I sent a message back to Chris, but I don't know, it's kind of like my kids. He doesn't respond, to anything unless they need some money or want to go out to dinner or something like that.
And Chris isn't the only one that can email. Any one of you guys can email info@clearcoatconfessions.net. Make sure to send us the details you guys have been working on and what products you used on the detail. Try to send a 15-second-ish video, and we can showcase it next week.
Bonus points if you use wax.
Yeah,
if you use wax, Franco might bump you up.
Yeah, so we did have the drawing. Was that the night before Tuesday night? Was it?
Yeah.
Or yeah,
Tuesday
right?
night.
Yeah, and we did have a winner. So our winner of the giveaway from our Clearcoat Confessions podcast 002 is
And it was a big
B-Trade
giveaway.
12003. I think his first name is Brandon. You have until Sunday night, 6 p.m. Pacific time. If you don't claim
dibs.
it,
If he doesn't claim it, I call dibs.
Actually, you weren't around last night at 2 a.m. and I already called dibs.
Ah, shit.
Yeah.
He's calling dibs on his own giveaway.
Yeah, no. If no one claims it, the giveaway will be void at this point. So
we'll run it back.
Yeah.
Void. Just a couple of letters off of Vice.
Yeah, avoid
Go
Vice.
It's my alter ego.
Yeah, I got that in the sale. I bought like 4 of them, so yeah, I got plenty of collectibles, Jax.
Yeah, I have one too. They're pretty nice.
If you need one, Jackson, I'll send you one.
Ricardo's got a question here.
Yep. Dave, you want to go ahead and read that question for us?
Absolutely. How is TikTok and Instagram influencing your clients as far as the speed of a legit detail? And
He has another follow-up there.
In other words, making them think it's much faster than it actually is.
Well, a real detail only takes 30 seconds according to TikTok.
I was gonna say, there's no such thing as a 30-second or 1 minute detail.
But I'm detailing like a TikToker. I got to get the brush out, do the little circles.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know about you guys. When I get a customer at my dealership that comes in for a detail, the first rule is you're not waiting for it. Go home. So I let them know right away. Yeah. Yeah, and I give them a heads up. Hey, it's going to be 3-4 hours minimum, and that's if I don't have other things going on. So but I'm not doing it as like my main thing. I'm doing it as more as a because I don't normally do detailing as a business, but like I still offer it to customers that had bought certain packages when they bought the car from me. So I'll say, yeah, sure, bring it on back. I'll do the same thing for you on this car or a different car if they really like the way I did it on the car they bought from me. But I let them know right off the bat, you're leaving it for at least a half a day, if not longer. Yeah. Because I got other things to do.
Yeah, what I've run into is potential clients think it's easy because it looks so easy, the before and afters. And when I tell them how hard that really was, and only a small segment of that detail was shown, it's like I end up just losing clients that way, because when I tell them, well, no, that's like a $800 job they just did on that interior. Like, I can do it, and it's going to be.
They don't even know what it costs.
Yeah, that's going to be a five-hour job minimum. Like that. I mean, steamer. That's extractor. That's everything. Yeah, we're not doing this in an hour. Mm-hmm. That's where I run into issues.
What were you saying, Fernando?
That's exactly one of the things I was going to touch on was when I did my first coating, I put it on on YouTube, right? And I'm like, this is why coatings cost over $1,000, right? It is not a easy task, and hats off to these guys that are doing it professionally, to all of you that are doing it professionally, because I mean, it took me a better part of 2 days without knowing anything, right? I just went, let's see what happens, and I had to split it up over 2 days to do it, and but then I was going and trying to get my paint just dialed in right. I took a little extra because it was my car, and was if I burnt paint, it was my car, and I wasn't going for just the enhancement. I was doing a little bit more correction here and there, and so it took me, I would guess, somewhere about 12 to 13 hours total to do my car from the decon wash all the way through, and yeah, I mean, I cut it down to a 15-minute video or 20-minute video, and it's easy to do that, right? And skip all the steps and show the end results and how easy it was when you're doing this. But I made sure that claim was out there that, hey, it wasn't a 15-minute job. It was a 12-hour job for me.
Yeah.
And so there is a comment in here by Paul, who's actually watching from the beach or a pool in the Philippines.
Right by the beach, boy.
Yeah, boy. So he says, speaking of wax, don't sleep on Mile Deep. There's a wax for all occasions. The show wax, it's a summer, it's super
summer.
wet looking, and they have waxes for day-to-day cars and all in between. So here's my question on this.
All right.
My Mustang has the luminous graphene pro coating on it and the diamond on the roof, right? That already looks pretty wet. If I was to put that summer wax on top of that, if I wanted to take it to Cars and Coffee to make it even look better, wetter, is by doing that, is that going to help this car with that already has a really stout and super glossy coating?
Franco says it would.
Yeah, I'll take that one. You'll get a call from NASA, from the space station, complaints of your shit just gleaming off of Earth. It's 100%
messing up their
worth
satellites.
it. It's 100% worth it, and you're not really harming anything. And if you are, you're a detailer. You're a seasoned detailer at this point. Like, if it kills the hydrophobics, there's always something better than the S Pro or the next big thing or whatever. But
that's the thing. You run the risk of, depending on what's in the wax.
Yeah, stay away from cleaner waxes.
Yeah, of course.
Depends on
100%,
what's
but
in
a
the
lot of the
wax.
waxes we're using.
You could kill your coating. So
you're also
Okay.
abrading the
But
surface.
I haven't killed my Broncos coating, and I've put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
But
at this point,
you stick to
six different
liquid
waxes on it.
You stick to pretty much liquid.
No. I did a paste. I did a Fusion. Paul Woodcock is in here. Can he speak on the Fusion Liquid Laboratories?
Oh yeah,
Fusion 1. That's actually a ceramic coating in a paste form. So that's the last one I put on the Bronco. When I showed you guys in the Discord the beads on the driver's side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the Fusion 1 ceramic paste. They don't even call it a wax on top of it, and I've got no worries that it's killing my coating as of now. But it looks stupid good.
And if you have improved garage money, you can go with Swiss Vex.
Yeah, I think. So, does anybody in this room have summer wax?
I do. Ulysses does.
Ulysses. Well, how much does he have?
That's the problem with Mile Deep. You can't.
How much did he give them
anywhere?
No.
Well, I packed those boxes.
I sent him the tin of the wax, but I kept about 2 little half-ounce, servings out of it.
Okay, I'll get a hold of you. Let's just have them send me something.
Yeah,
Chris
and
M
they're
asked
great.
a question there.
Oh, go ahead.
Very good question, by the way.
With all wax sealants and detail sprays, how do we even know the coatings are dead anymore?
That's what I'm saying.
That's what
we give it a nice Dude, you get that Dawn dish soap and you put it on there because it kills waxes. And after the wash, if it's still hydrophobic, that's how you know.
Let me ask you: does
That's
it really
why.
matter if the coating's dead? If your stuff's still beating and still protecting, who cares what's the base layer at that
Why'd you
point?
put a coating? Why'd you put a coating?
Who
You're just gonna
cares?
top it
You
with
gotta
For
use
something
the
fun.
else.
times that I don't want to put a wax. I mean, I don't want to do it all the time. It's absolutely fun, but for the times that I don't want
Dude, unless
to,
you're
I can
going
just
on
let it
like
ride.
a road trip and you're gonna get like a bunch of bugs, like maybe that makes sense.
That's the key right there. That's why I'm doing the waxes because I rack up thousands of miles, during the year commuting to and from work. And if the deserty, arid, dry, sandy, Texas I-20 choose a coating off my vehicle, can't I use a wax to take the brunt of that, in between washes?
How much is it really taking though?
Man,
It does
C6,
give you a good base.
It killed C6 in 5 months.
Yeah, but that's an outlier, dude. We all know how that is,
Yeah. I don't know. It's a fun experiment. You don't have to do a wax. I don't have to do a wax.
No, but
I do
most
it because
most
I want to.
people, not necessarily a wax, but most people do top their coatings, like if not most of them.
Well, I don't know if and I don't know if this makes a difference, but I feel like when I'm driving down the highway, I feel like the wax left a stronger layer because once it gets dirty, then the abrasion isn't hitting the wax the whole time. Once it gets dirty, then the abrasion's bouncing off the grime and the road grime and the dirt that's already on there that needs to be washed off. So there is, a benefit to it hitting the wax and being stuck to there. Or, if it rains and I get water spots, those water spots are more likely to rinse off
Yeah.
with the wax a lot easier.
Me
I.e.,
and
me and Dave
and-
talked about that.
Yeah, me and Jeff from Improved Garage have the same issue because of our hard water and where cars are parked right next to a sprinkler. So the wax I have on only one side of my car that's parked by the lawn. That is why I put it on. Is
That's
just
so
literally
weird.
for the hard water.
Turn off your
Yeah.
What was that?
sprinkler.
We're freaking California.
Get
The
that
freaking
brown
grass will be
grass.
brown by tomorrow.
Park somewhere else.
But that's the whole benefit of it. And it's a sacrificial layer. And if I have a stout coating underneath it, the yum is going strong on the unwaxed side. So why not let the wax take the brunt of the damage and you can rinse it off. And then let's say this month, next month, I don't want to do a wax. I could just wash and dry and put a detailer on it. That it gives me the options. And in the long run, if it does make that Yum 6 last 4 years, I mean, there's that high probability. Is it going to happen? I don't know. I can't tell you for certain, but I would
If you
rather
keep putting waxes, do you think your Yum 6-year will really perform way more than a 6-year? Like, wouldn't it still die even if you have a
It's not
sacrificial
going to
layer?
perform any better,
think
but it's
you
going
think
to.
it would.
It
You
will.
think it would last longer than if you
will.
didn't put anything?
That's the unknown. That's the unknown. Like let's say tomorrow I go outside and I hit it with every decon that I have, every bucket naked, every hard wash, and even Dawn dish soap, and I do something that's going to kill that wax. Are the hydrophobics are still going to be the same because because those products don't kill the Yum 6? You know what I mean? Like, there's only one way to find out, and that's you know.
As long as the wax does not kill the coating being installed, it's only doing what we're talking about, which is protecting the base layer.
I'm gonna be honest. I think everybody in here is kind of talking all their ass. Nobody here is really a chemist. who are you to say? Who are you to say that's really doing that?
Do you
Well,
have a
I
breath
mean,
mint?
who's talking about chemistry? We're talking about.
No, I'm talking about the chemists. I like chemists.
No one's talking about
Probabilities.
chemistry or chemists. We're talking about just common sense. You got a base layer, which is basically that's what coatings are. Is a small film, a few microns of extra protection over your clear coat, and then you're putting another layer of wax over that coating to protect that. So the whole difference is just, can you install it without messing up your coating? That's the big thing.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
we'll know.
Perfect
We'll
way
know
to
at
end
the
it
end of
on
this.
that note.
On that
we'll know
note,
at the end of the summer.
Yeah. So just real quick here. So Jax is coming in and saying in the vast majority of the time, he ceramic or graphene sprays as a coating topper causes because customers are looking for longevity over temporary looks. But some maintenance program customers do like to wax.
Right. And that's
You
fine.
prefer wax.
That's the customer's, wants and needs, and we're a service industry, so we have to, adhere to what our customers want.
Yeah.
You can guide them, but
Right.
and here's the other side of it.
That's what I'm saying, Conway. You're abrading the surface. Is that not doing nothing to the coating? It has to be doing something.
How is it abrading the coating?
You're
I'm
rubbing the
using
wax in.
I'm using the softest pads, the griots. Wax pads are the softest thing on the planet. I'm not abrading shit. I'm putting. It's no more abrasive than using a drying towel, the microfiber. Yeah, you're not abrading nothing. The waxes themselves don't have any abrasives in it. Carnauba wax, they have ceramic additives, they have palm oils, they have this oils, they have that oil. You're not abrading shit when you're using a wax.
There is a possibility of abrading it if you do it wrong, or if you do wipe off too hard. There is a possibility of it, and there is a possibility of clogging the coating if the wax is got certain materials inside it. But that's where you got to kind of pick and choose your waxes smart if you're gonna pair it up with a coating.
Yeah, no, I can't blame a wax for my heavy-handedness. If I
no one's blaming
you.
No one's blaming it. I'm saying that it is a possibility that you could abrade the coating.
Chris M said there's a Waffle House style brawl going to break up in here. We're all just very
passionate,
very dedicated and passionate detailers. And
Bunch
some
of
of us
hard-heads.
like wax, and
That's
some don't.
that's the beauty of it. I mean, we all have different opinions, different experiences with all of this stuff. So, I mean, is there a right or wrong? Does there have to be a right or wrong?
Nobody in here has the right opinion. Nobody.
Yeah,
I do. I do. Speak for yourself. Don't ask.
I mean, we don't have to. That's the beauty of this. I mean, we can agree to disagree, or agree to agree, or disagree to disagree. And at the end of the
Detailing is
day,
the new politics.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we're in a group chat and whatnot, and talking about whatever it is, and it's water under the bridge. So
that's what
I think we should all hug it out, guys. Let's
There's three ways you
take your shirt off.
There's 3 ways you can do things. You can do it the right way, you can do it the wrong way, or you can do it the correct way, which is my way.
Amen, brother.
Well, look at that. Both you guys pointed to yourself. That was pretty cool. All right. Anything else before we wrap it up, guys? Chingy,
no. Chingy. That was Fernando, Don.
All right. I think we've punished these people enough. Let's call it a night, guys.
All
wait, there's one more comment. Hey,
Oh yeah.
No, wait. That's because he's sending you something. That's let me see. Page 14, section 3, paragraph 4. You can't send him something from Katiba and then nominate him for president. So that's
maybe prime minister.
That's void.
Canada could use another prime minister, so let him take care of that.
Yeah, but hey, thanks everybody for joining in tonight. We've had a blast talking about all these subjects, answering your questions, and reading your comments. Keep an eye out for us, as we have said. We're going to try and schedule these every 2 weeks, but we're going to be a pop-up. We'll have a pop-up podcast, usually on a weekly basis too. It's
whenever Greg feels like it.
Yeah. No, not whenever I feel like it. Whenever we all feel like it. All right. With that, thanks a lot for everybody attending. Stay safe.
Don't forget to email us down below
your videos, and 8 to 12 seconds long is fine. If it's any longer than that,
you're just playing with it.
Yeah, we're going to tell Franco, and Franco's going to manage it. Hot take: I tested Katiba Tie Stick versus Luminous Black Slick guess what's slicker?
I think I can
That's
guess.
not what Tanner said. Tanner
And on
said.
that note, we end it.
Yeah, Tanner said it's streaks. It's
It's caca.
streaks.
Tanner says
That's what makes it so slick. There's still a lot of it left on there because of streaks.
Yeah. Now I've got
All
Tyson.
right.
I'm gonna try it out.
All right. Well, you guys take it easy, and we will end this stream now. Stick around for the last part. There's a 30-second part I want y'all to listen to, okay?
Oh.
Thanks for listening to Clearcoat Confessions. Just a quick reminder, the opinions and hot takes expressed by our guests today are entirely their own and don't necessarily reflect the views of the hosts. Detailing involves heavy tools and strong chemicals, so if you try any of the techniques or products we talked about today, you do so at your own risk.